Hey everybody, Ben here from the Bonehead podcast, and welcome to the monthly meta. So every month, on the first Monday of every month, we're going to have a look in at the state of Blood Bowl. We are going to be looking at what's legal and what's lethal. And what we mean by that is we're going to be looking at what teams, what star players, what rules are available and are currently live and eligible. So if you're just joining Blood Bowl, or you're thinking about tournaments, or you just want a rundown of actually what's happened in the last month, what have I got access to, this is going to be the show for you. Once per month, we'll go through what is currently live in Blood Bowl. Then we're going to have a look at what's lethal. And what we mean by that is top performing teams, what's changed. So if a new star player's come in that's actually made this other team much better, if a new rules come in that's unlocked some potential for this team, for that team, in a new format. Basically, we want to give you the rundown of what you're allowed to play and what you should play. So what's legal? This we are in the first few weeks of Blood Bowl Season 2, and it is already a little bit chaotic. There's already a lot of different stuff going on. So let's begin. So first things first, we have got the Blood Bowl 2020 rulebook. In that, you've got 21 teams and 20 star players, I think. So this is going to be your go-to. This is going to be the first thing that you're looking at. This covers all the core teams that Games Workshop have released miniatures for, and the star players. There's only 3 in the book that don't have actual official miniatures. So that is Skrull Half-Height, who we have seen a suspicious spoiler that makes everyone think that we're going to see Skrull in miniature form soon. Rumbelow Sheepskin, who is the halfling who bounces around on a goat smashing things. Cool star player, haven't seen a miniature yet from that Games Workshop. And Gretchen, the Blood Bowl Widow, who is a really cool Banshee player that's just about 100k overcosted, so you're not missing out in that. So step 1, Blood Bowl rulebook. Step 2, we have the Teams of Legend PDF. So Games Workshop dropped this on us. This is basically all the core teams that used to exist in Blood Bowl that Games Workshop haven't got around to releasing miniatures for yet. So they want you to still be able to play them in your leagues and tournaments. So we've got the Teams of Legend PDF. We've got Amazon teams, we've got Chaos Dwarf teams, we've got High Elf, Norse, Khemri, Tomb Kings basically, and Vampires. So there's 6 more teams for you to run there. They are kind of limited in star players, so you can probably see on the screen there, Amazons are Lustrian Super League only, so they only get access to a few star players. That kind of keeps these teams a little bit more narrow than the ones from the core rulebook, but if you've got miniatures for them or you want to run these teams, you can, and that will be basically in tournaments and leagues everywhere, because it is a free PDF that you have access to. Third up on the list, we've got the Spike issue 11. So this Spike does cover all the rules for the Necromantic team, which is a fantastic new release from Games Workshop, but the rules for that entire team are all available in the core rulebook. So you're not getting a new team. What you are getting here is 3 new star players. So we've got Frankenstein, who's on the cover himself, Wilhelm Chaney, who is a very good, very powerful Strength 4, Movement 8 werewolf star, available for Sylvanian teams, which is Undead Necromantic from the core rulebook, Tomb Kings and Vampires from the Teams of Legend. So watch out for that one, whether you're running league or tournament. Strong combo there. So this Spike magazine also has a couple of other bits for inducements, and has a wizard. The wizard is not as good as the one in the rulebook, but still quite good. So we've also got the Spike magazine, no new teams, but 3 star players. And talking of star players, we've also got Acorn the Squirrel. So this is a star player that comes free with the Tree Man miniature. So you get a tiny squirrel and that squirrel, because it's kind of like a meme thing, but actually has a star player card. So Acorn the Squirrel, interesting star player, only 80k, only strength 1, but has Claws Frenzy Dauntless. So basically an honorary secret weapon star player. Acorn is potentially legal. You will have to check with your league commissioner, although it's got a card and it's been released in a Games Workshop publication. Check your tournament as well. They may be disallowing it. Personally, Acorn is as official as the Teams of Legend. The only difficulty is it was a limited release because it's in White Dwarf. However, if you want to know the rules for Acorn the Squirrel, I wonder where you can find them. They're everywhere on the internet. So Acorn is legit, and he is our number 4 part of legal Blood Bowl at the moment for Season 2. So that is everything that is legal and comes from Games Workshop when you are looking at Blood Bowl at the moment. Now, this is December 2020, and we can hope that Games Workshop are going to drop some more stuff in January. That's why we're going to make this a monthly thing. So you've got the core rulebook, you've got the spike, you've got Teams of Legend, and you've got one random star player. We will obviously keep you updated if new star players and things come out. But this is everything that is official Games Workshop Blood Bowl. There is also an unofficial expansion that has been put out by the NAF. So the NAF is a player association that basically records competitive Blood Bowl tournament results. Really interesting group. Do recommend you look into the NAF if you currently don't. So the NAF have released their rules for tournaments from the 1st of January 2021. And in that are 2 more teams. So the Slan team, which are Jumpy Leapy Frog People, also known as Kislev in Blood Bowl 2, and the Khorne team, or the Demons of Khorne team, as they're technically called, which is the Frenzy Bloodthirster team from Blood Bowl 1. So basically, these are the teams that feature in the Cyanide video games. You can run them on tabletop if you can get hold of some miniatures that you like for them. So with all of these teams, we've done starting roster videos, and hopefully I'll remember to put a link up here now for those, and in which we kind of suggest a couple of miniature ranges. So for Teams of Legend and for the NAF teams here, the Slan and Khorne team, have a look at the video. We'll give you a decent rundown of what you can run, why you should run it, and also some miniatures if you want to take that team. Obviously, all the teams in the Blood Bowl 2020 rulebook have actual Games Workshop plastic miniatures out for them, which are the cheapest and easiest ways to get into that team. No more star players. So everything on the left-hand side is official Games Workshop. There's 2 unofficially official teams if you're looking at NAF tournaments or you're running your league. So if you are a competitive Blood Bowl player gearing up for a tournament, it is potentially going to be a NAF sanctioned tournament. It's going to be involved in the NAF sphere of Blood Bowl, which means you could still be eligible to run your Demons of Khorne team or your Slan team from the olden times. So that is definitely a watch out as well. So with all that in mind, you can see that we've got, 21 teams plus another 6 teams, so 27 teams plus another 2 there. So yeah, we are looking at 29-30 teams eligible for most Blood Bowl events. And then you've got the star players from the Blood Bowl 2020 rulebook, plus the 3 from Spike 11 and Acorn the Squirrel. Acorn plays for any team. The 3 undead guys from Spike 11 all play for the Sylvanian Spotlight teams, but Frankenstein can be taken by Old World Classic as well, which is another 7 teams. So there's quite a lot of interplay between them. Now, we're doing what we can to update our tournament rosters videos and our starting rosters videos, and every time we see a star player come out, we'll do a star player spotlight, so you can have a quick rundown of what the star player is good for, how much it is, what the alternatives are, and what miniatures you can use. The whole idea is we want to keep you up to date and current on Blood Bowl. That wraps up the What's Legal segment. You are now caught up. This is everything that you can play in Blood Bowl Season 2. So what's lethal in Blood Bowl Season 2? If you want to know more about positionals, about teams, about things like that, we've got a whole host of videos for you. We've got a bunch of top 5 as well. Every Friday we've got a top 5 video which will break down the player types, who we think's best at what specific thing, and if you listen to the podcast, you'll see who we think performed well in the transition into this era. But this segment is going to be moving forward looking at who's been winning tournaments, who's performing well in leagues and things like that. So this part here, we don't have anything for you right now. What we do want you to do is comment in these videos and let us know what tournaments you've got coming up, what tournaments you've been playing, what teams you think have been performing well, so that we can do a monthly update. Ideally, what we want to do is on a Tuesday have a Tournament Tuesday video where we pick one tournament that's coming up in 2 to 3 months. We look at the format, we look at the teams, we look at some builds that we think would do really well, and then once the tournament's been in a few months' time, we'll do a quick update and see how we got on with our predictions and actually who won, and just do a bit of a review of that tournament. The reason we want to do this is because competitive Blood Bowl is just so exciting. We've seen from the last segment how many teams, how many variations there are, and this is a new game. There's a lot that's similar to the old season, but this is season 2, and the teams have all jostled a little bit, which gives us basically a new season. So it's called season 2, which makes a lot of sense. So let us know what tournaments you've got coming up in a few months' time. We can do little mini focuses on some of them, and then we can keep abreast of actually who's performing well, what team's doing really well, what star players doing really well. So every month you will get an update of what's legal and what's lethal. Thanks very much for watching. I look forward to seeing your comments, and we'll be back again soon with some more Blood Bowl content. See you later.